Well, hello, this is Slade Priest, the Hunting Land Man, and welcome to episode 39 of the Hunting Land Man podcast. As always, brought to you by Southern Ag Credit. They take great care of our clients. They take great care of us. I closed a sale with them yesterday. Buyer bought a property that I owned, 167 acres in Namick County. They're super pumped, and what a great property. Quick story on that property. I went to pick up my cameras when I left, and I think Hunter's going to post a video today. Have not been a longbeard on camera out there since January, and it is now April the 18th or something like that. And there was two big longbeards in the road, and they got within 4 yards of my truck with me sitting in the truck. Crazy. We'll post it on social media. If you go look at my personal or the Hunting Land Man, you'll see it here in a couple of days. All right. It is mid to late April, like I said. You know, I'm tagged out in Mississippi. We're trying to get some Louisiana birds. I don't have a lot of good Louisiana spots, so we're really trying to get Caleb a turkey right now. Next week, we leave to go to Missouri and Iowa. Ryan and myself, R&S Land Company, going to get some revenge on some turkeys. We love hunting up there. We got farms to look at. We got some farms that we've sold up there that we've got to replace with some 1031 money and get ready for deer season. And that is our topic today. Deer season starts now. It's getting planting time. It's getting planting time. It's time for your success to start in the fall starts now. Okay. So many things we can do. So let's dive into that. All right. Let's just first, number one, I'm assuming you've got your land, but if you do not have your land, there is time. If we contract something, let's say in May, and we can close, June, July, we've still got time. Interest rates are up, but they've made their last, so I hear it, excuse me, they've made their last hike of the year already, and they're going to start coming down in the next 60 or 90 days, which is a good thing. So, hey, let's get you in your piece of property now. Here's the deal with a lot of the land banks and definitely Southern Ag Credit. If you finance your land right now at, let's say, 7.75 or 8%, whatever, and then in next year, election year, we know the rates are going to come down because somebody in office is going to try to look good, for the election. So when they come down, Southern Ag or a lot of land banks will write your note down. And so let's just say they get to 6.5. I'm just throwing numbers out there, or 6 or 5 or maybe lower. Who knows? They will write your interest rate down for free. So essentially, for just a short amount of time, you'll have that high interest rate. And I guarantee you the lease or the pay hunt you're going on now, if you calculated it out, what you're spending on that versus the interest rate on the higher loan, let's go ahead and get you in that property now. Inventory's looking pretty good. We're getting some inventory finally. So get on my email list. Hit us up, 601-888-0094, or hit me up on social media. Comment on this podcast, and let's get you on my email list. Let's get you on the phone, and let me and Caleb and my team find you a piece of property today. Me and Caleb work in Mississippi and Louisiana. Down here in South, I got Ryan Drew working Jackson and North, and our whole team at Southern States Realty is working everywhere in the South. So let's find your property. All right, now we're assuming when you got your property, what can we do now? If you're finishing up your turkey season, turkeys, they're acting a little bit. We've had some good weather the last couple of days, and Lori killed a good turkey, had a great hunt the other day, but I'm going to say that they're 85, 90% done. They're not as interested as they were 2 weeks ago. We had early spring, and I think the only thing keeping us in the game right now is we got some pretty good weather. I did notice the gnats starting to come out today, so that usually puts a hurting on the turkeys as far as their activity later on in the morning. But still a lot of turkeys, still a lot that can be killed, and if you know where to be and what to do, you can still kill them. All right, preseason for deer. All right, land management. If you got road work to do and food plot work to do, don't wait until August, September to do this stuff. Let's go ahead and get in there. Call me or get with a land management guy, and let's figure out where we're going to make these food plots bigger, or where we're going to put these food plots, where we're going to put these roads, where we're going to put these accesses, where we're going to put these fire lanes, all these things. Let's go ahead and do it now. That way we're not boogering up your place or putting a lot of boot tracks and scent and noise on the ground during, when we're getting closer to deer season. Things that I like to remember, okay, go back. I was doing it yesterday. My deer are on my brain hard right now. I'm just ready I'm ready to kill a big rack buck, even though I want to kill these turkeys in Missouri and Iowa first, but I'm ready to kill a big rack buck. And so if you're like me, which a lot of you are, you know what deer you're going to be hunting next year already. You know what made it through the season. You know what deer, are going to be of the right age that are going to be hunted next year. So the success for those specific deer, if you're like me and you're hunting 5-year-old deer with your bow, 5-6-year-old deer with your bow, you know what deer you're hunting pretty much already. I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got, I think, 5 that I know I'm going to be heavily hunting next year right there around the house. And these are deer that, have a legitimate chance of taking. So that'd be me and the family, Lori, everybody. So I'm preparing for those deer now. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, I've got a bunch of stuff written down here. Okay, let's say you're going to do summer food plots. Okay, so you need to be spraying right now or getting ready to plant, thinking about what you're going to plant. I am going to plant, I already got the seed. I'm going to plant the backwoods blend called Bachelor Pad. Bachelor Pad, I like. It's got cowpeas in it, one of my favorites. It's got the 3 favorite things that I like to plant during the summer in it. Cowpeas, Alley's clover, and joint vetch. Now, I've had a lot more experience with the cowpeas and the Alley's clover than I had the joint vetch, but I've got some buddies that plant a lot of the joint vetch, and they really like it. All of this stuff is pretty deer tolerant. I'm planting some large acreage, about 10 acres there around my house. Look, I like to see a lot of deer when I pull in the driveway during the summer, feeding my deer all through the summer, so it's going to be good. Okay, if you're not going to do summer food plots, let me tell you what works almost just as good. Is the protein feed you can get from Backwoods, and a lot of company makes it. I just happen to use the Backwoods brand. So, feed, if you don't have the time or you don't have the acreage for food plots, which a lot of my listeners don't here in the South, you feed your protein feed. Yes, it costs a good bit of money, but think about things you waste money on, and you can really get those deer dialed in. And now, especially with like velvet season and early October, have those deer where they're coming on a pattern to your place. I put my Reveal trail cameras out. I watch these deer all summer. I'm learning their patterns. And also, if you start early like this, and once you can start recognizing, let's say, July, when you can start recognizing some of these deer, maybe you can move your cameras around and learn where their bedrooms are. Learn a little bit more about these deer when you're not about to hunt them. Take the time now to learn where their bedrooms are, where you can maybe hang a stand for early season, catching them coming in and out with the right wind. You can do things now, and if you booger them a little bit, it's not the end of the world because you're not hunting them next week. But, man, it's just, to me, whenever you do all these things and then you actually, kill one of these deer, it's so much more fun. Like the deer I killed this year was definitely not the best deer I ever killed by any stretch of the imagination. But he meant more to me because I'd been watching the deer 3 years. Patterns, stands, cameras, feeders, you name it. We had done it for this deer, and ended up getting him on camera with the bow and killing him. It was really, really fun. So a lot of stuff you can do now. If you don't have your minerals out already, get your minerals out. A great place to throw a camera and watch your deer grow all throughout the year. Figure out maybe, where some. I find that sometimes if you put minerals out, that you can during the summer, these bucks make these big wide loops looking around. You may get some deer during the summer, July, August, that you may not get until the rut. They just doing deer things, and you've got minerals out, and maybe your neighbor doesn't. So minerals are cheap. A lot of different companies makes them. We use the Backwoods stuff, but a lot of companies makes them. And, get your minerals out. You want to have some trace minerals, not just salt. You want to have some trace minerals so it's doing something good for your deer. And it's, it's never a bad thing to give your deer more and more of the things they need. Something else that I'm big on, every area, I hear it from my clients and friends and family. My deer won't eat out of this kind of feeder. If it's a trough feeder, or a spin feeder, or a boss buck type of feeder, or a big protein feeder, you name it. My deer won't eat out of this kind or that kind. Well, feeder training happens now. What does that mean? You want to train your deer? Yeah, I said that. Train your deer to eat out of a spin feeder. Put the feeder up now when not everybody in the woods is feeding them. Let them get used to it. Or a protein feeder or something like that. So you can do those things now. And if you put your spin feeder up, like what I like to do, Backwoods makes the Flame Kiss soybeans. So you can do the soybean corn mix or just the soybeans, and you can feed it out of your spin feeder so that they're also getting the benefit of that high protein stuff out of that product. So that's a cool deal. And you can train the deer to come to your food plots or come to your little spot in the woods where you're putting those feeders. You can train your deer now to those feeders. I think it's the best time of year to do it, now when everybody else isn't feeding. Also, something that I do, me and Asa, we watched our cell cameras left and right, and whenever hogs show up, we're either trapping them or we're getting the thermal and we're going to shoot them. So great practice, shooting your bow or gun during the summer and getting hogs out of there, because what you don't want to do is go fill your feeders up in August and then all September you're fighting your hog population. Fight them now where you can get them down, and that way when it comes killing time, September, October, you already got that out the way. And man, all this stuff, all this stuff is fun. It's great to get your kids out there to do all these things and let them see the work, not just crawling in the box stand with the iPad and pulling the trigger. All these things go into, having a healthier deer herd, a better deer herd, and being able to actually kill your deer. All these things I hear people talk about left and right about, healthier deer herd, healthier habitat management, age structure, and all that. That's all irrelevant if you're not doing the things it takes to kill them. Do what you want to do. I want to kill these deer. I don't want to just get them on camera. So how do we do that? We do it. We start now, early season prep, and this is super early season. If you got any stand hanging or maintenance, you can do that stuff this time of year. Just less boot traffic in the woods later in the year. Of course, shooting your bow and doing all that kind of stuff. You need to be doing that year round. I'm trying to look at all this stuff that I got written down. There's so many things you can do this time of year that will affect you later in the year. I'm just thinking of things I need to do. There's some trees down on some of my trails I know I need to cut and get out the way. I need to pull some of my stands down. That's another important thing. We've got a new stand sponsor. We have not announced yet that we're super pumped up. I'll tell you this, if you can think of the best stand company out there, not the best, I'm talking about makes the best product, that's who we partner with, and we're going to be announcing that soon. So we're pumped up about that. And we're going to be doing all these same things to Missouri coming up. Now, Missouri, spring's a little later and things like that, and our turkey season's still, fixing to get, or just started rocking and rolling this week up there, and we're going to be up there. But what Ryan and I are going to be doing when we're up there, just like on my list, we're going to be buying some land when we're up there, looking at some land to replace some that we sold, getting a game plan for this fall, where we're spraying, where we're planting, all those, where we're hanging stands, and game plan for the fall. Deer we know that made it through the season because we had cameras up there and we know what made it through. All the things that we're applying down here in the south, of course, we'll be applying up there at just different time. We're going up there April 23rd, and then we're coming back like 28th. And then we're going to go back up sometime this summer to get some corn planted and things like that, deer corn, not just harvest corn. And then also we'll be going back up about around August 1st to plant our trophy acre and our sugar rush and things like that. That's been so good to us up there. In fact, all 4 bucks we killed last year were killed in a sugar rush field. I'm telling you, it was unreal. And there were still good bucks coming there after we left. So, get your game plan in order now, man. Don't be the guy who goes and puts up a camera in September and says, wonder what I'm hunting this year. Man, you probably know what made it through the season. I sent pictures to my neighbor last night about, hey, do you know this deer? What do you know about him? He didn't show up to me till late January, and he was a hammer, and he made it through the season. I had pictures of him in February, so he could be one of our superstars there around my house at some places I got. So I'm pumped up, man. As I'm talking about this, I'm thinking about deer that I know made it through the season and plans about how we're going to get them killed. There's one deer in particular that hopefully I'll be doing an episode on in October after we kill him. I hope he likes to act right. He shows up in daylight. And me and my son Bentley were hunting the last day of the season. And this is a big 4-year-old. I'm talking about, if he wouldn't have broke his side, he would have been low 40s in Wilson County, and we elected to pass him, big 4-year-old. And the last day of deer season, I saw him, out in the plot, and he was happy and healthy. Had a broke side, so that even made him easier not to shoot, hopefully for the neighbors too. But I'm getting a game plan in order now to hunt him in the velvet season and in October. Usually he doesn't show up on us till early October, but I'm getting a game plan now. I'll have protein out, some summer food plot stuff, minerals, figuring out stands and accesses and trails. To me, I've gotten so, like last year, I really targeted the buck El Diablo that I killed. And that was so fun to me to say, I'm hunting that deer. Not that I wouldn't go hunt a different deer, but that was the deer I wanted, and that was the deer I killed. And that was so fun whenever I was able to kill him. And I hope you get that same fulfillment when you follow all the things that I just said. So, hey, if you don't have your land, let's go find your land. If you need some help, that's one thing that me and my team talk about, and I love to do. Do not feel bad about calling me, hey, Slade, you know this property I bought, or here's my property, send me a map. What do you think about doing this? I love to talk about this stuff. This is what I do. Now, I don't have all the time in the world to talk about it all the time, but if you need some help on some of this stuff, me and my team, or if you need some professional help that I can't do, more time involved, I've got some resources of some people that can help you with some of this land management stuff. But let's start working now on getting your deer killed this fall. Still got some turkey hunting to do and having a blast, but I don't know why, but my brain has switched to deer, like you can hear, really hard. So let's get out there. Let's get your summer food plots done, your protein done, feeder training, all this kind of thing. And the main thing, if you don't have your land, let's go find you some land. We're selling it every day. We've got some really, really new good listings. We got 130 acres with a camp in Franklin County, 62 acre with a camp. Same property can be split up. We've got 178 acres in East Baton Rouge. We've got 540 acres in Franklin Parish, ducks, deer, turkeys. That's a really, really cool track. I'm surprised that one hadn't sold yet. I'm thinking of more out loud. We've got 270 acres. 268, in Lamar County with a camp with a big lake. That is a really, really cool property, turnkey, ready to go. Got a 344 in Adams County, right here in Natchez, not far from where I'm at now, at the new office. We do not have this thing all set up, but we are recording here in the new office. If you're in the Natchez area and you want to talk some real estate, come by and see us. We're right here on John R. Junkin Drive, and we'll have our signage up soon. But got a lot of new good listings. If you don't know about our listing, huntinglandman.net, check us out. You can check out all our listings, and we're going to get back after it. We got T-ball tonight, turkeys to kill tomorrow, and turkeys to kill in Missouri next week. And as always, we got a lot of land to sell. Y'all have a blessed day.